Now I will continue the new topic from chapter number 10, Motion, Force and Pressure. Now in this chapter I will start a new topic, force. How many times do you push or pull something every day? When you open a door, you are pulling. When you close a door, you are pushing. Lifting your school bags is also pulling. So, pushes and pulls are forces. The direction in which an object is pushed or pulled is called the direction of the force. We apply force to perform various activities: to lift a glass of water, to push the switch of a TV set to turn it on, or to open a car door to get it, etc. So, by the help of force, a force can make an object move. When you kick a stationary football, you make it move. When you pick up a glass of water, you make it move. So, when you apply a force, there are so many things can move like this, right? So, force can make a stationary object move, and a force can change the speed of the moving object. Now, see the pictures like this. By the help of force, you can change the speed of the moving object. Now see the picture. A goalkeeper applies force to stop a football and reduce its speed to zero. If he is not able to stop the ball properly, it may only slow down and not come to a position of rest. Right? So by the help of force, many things can change the speed of a moving object. Right? Now the next is force can change the shape of an object, such as stretch a rubber band, press a sponge. If you squeeze a sponge, its shape changes. If you pull a rubber band, it becomes long. You can use the force of your hand to change the shape of plasticine. So force can change the shape of an object, right? Now the next is a force can change the direction of the moving object. For example, when a batsman hits a ball with his bat, he applies force to change the direction of the motion of the ball. If you allow a moving ball to hit the palm of your hand, a force is exerted on the ball which changes its direction of motion. Right? So force can make a stationary object move, force can change the speed of a moving object, force can change the direction of motion of a moving object, and force can change the shape or size of an object. Have you got my points? Now I will start a new topic, friction. What is friction? Friction is a force that slows things down or keeps things from moving. Whenever one surface moves or tries to move over another surface, the force of friction starts acting on the surfaces. It always opposes the motion. Right? Now what is friction? जब हम किसी भी बॉडी को दूसरी सरफेस पर ड्रैग करते हैं तो रगड़ने की वजह से एक फोर्स प्रोड्यूस होती है, उस फोर्स को फ्रिक्शन फोर्स कहते हैं. और जितनी सरफेस रफ होती है फ्रिक्शन उतनी ज़्यादा होती है, और अगर सरफेस एरिया स्मूथ होता है तो फिर फ्रिक्शन कम होती है। राइट? फ्रिक्शन फोर्स कब ज़्यादा होती है? जब रफ सरफेस हो। और फ्रिक्शन फोर्स कब ज़्यादा होगी? जब रफ सरफेस हो। और फ्रिक्शन फोर्स जब स्मूथ सरफेस पर होती है तो वो फोर्स फ्रिक्शन कम होती है। राइट? सो व्हाट इज फ्रिक्शन? Friction is a force that slows things down or keeps things from moving whenever one surface moves or tries to move over another surface. The surface of friction starts acting on the surfaces, right? So, what is surfaces? There are two types of surfaces, smooth surfaces and rough surfaces. फ्रिक्शन फोर्स स्मूथ सरफेस पर कम होती है और रफ सरफेस पे फ्रिक्शन फोर्स ज़्यादा होती है। जब हम किसी भी बॉडी को दूसरी सरफेस में ड्रैग करते हैं तो रिगड़ने की वजह से एक फोर्स प्रोड्यूस होती है, उसको फ्रिक्शन फोर्स कहा जाता है। राइट? हैव यू गॉट इट? नाउ आई विल टेल यू अबाउट द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. It would be impossible for us to walk without friction. It is because of friction between our feet or shoes and the ground that we are able to walk by pushing our feet against the ground. Right? So, without friction, we would slip as soon as we tried to walk. It is very difficult to walk on ice or on a very smooth and polished surface. This is because the friction of these surface is very little. Cars and buses are able to move on the road because the friction between the tires and the surface of the road. So brakes on car works because of friction. The brakes are applied, the shoe of the brakes rub against the wheels, the friction between them reduces the speed. Have you got it? Now I will tell you about the disadvantages of friction. Friction causes wastage of energy. This is because anything that moves has to overcome the force of friction. And shoes, slippers, tires, and anything that are used for moving become worn out. Friction produces heat that causes object to wear out. So there are so many disadvantages of friction and as well as advantages of friction. Right? Now I will tell you about the gravitational force. A force that acts on you and on all objects around you all the times is the force of gravity. What is gravity? Gravity is the force with which the earth pulls everything towards itself. It is due to gravity why things on the earth fall downwards and not upwards. Right? So, gravity is actually the force of attraction between particles of matter. So, every object exerts this force on every other object. Right? For example, an apple falling from a tree. This is the example of gravitational force. ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स से रिलेटेड आप एक एक्टिविटी अपने घर में कीजिएगा और उसको ऑब्ज़र्व कीजिएगा, और ये एक्टिविटी आपको होम असाइनमेंट में भी गिवन है। आप इसे परफॉर्म करेंगे और एक्टिविटी फाइल में अपनी ऑब्जर्वेशंस को राइट डाउन करेंगे। क्या करना है आपने, एक स्मॉल स्टोन लेना है और उसको टाई करना है रबर बैंड से. टाई a small stone to a rubber band and let it hang. The rubber band gets stretched slightly as the earth pulls the stone towards it. Now tie a slightly bigger stone to it. Now what do you observe? The rubber band is stretched more because the earth attracts the bigger stone with greater force. We say that the big stone has greater weight than the small stone, right? आपने एक स्मॉल स्टोन लेना है, एक बिग स्टोन लेना है और दोनों को क्या करना है, आपने रबर बैंड से हैंग करना है. तो आप ये देखेंगे कि वेट इज़ अ मेजर ऑफ द अर्थ्स ग्रेविटेशनल पुल ऑन एन ऑब्जेक्ट. यानी जो स्टोन हैवी होगा वो रबर बैंड ज़्यादा स्ट्रेच होगी टूवर्ड्स द अर्थ, राइट. तो ये एक्टिविटी आप घर पे परफॉर्म कीजिएगा. ये पेज नंबर 156 पर है, जो कि होम असाइनमेंट आपको दिया जाएगा और इसी में आपने परफॉर्म करना है. देन ऑब्जर्वेशन को अपनी फाइल्स में लिखना है. नाउ द लास्ट इज होम टास्क. Long questions. Question number 5. What is force? What are the four main things that a force can do? And question number 6. Define a friction. Mention at least two advantages and two disadvantages of friction. And now activity. मैंने आपको activity को explain कर दिया है. Do activity on page number 156 and this activity must be done in activity file. Now this is enough for today. We will learn something new in our next class. Take care. Allah Hafiz.